Hi there, everyone, and welcome to Paper Wishes Weekly Webisodes. I'm Sarah Newman, and I'm so happy you're joining me for this episode of Saturday with Sara. Today, I'm excited to show you the Academia collection from our friends at 49 and Market with pattern papers and laser cut embellishments to go along. So let's take a closer look, and we can start with our paper pack. Now this measures 6 inches by 8 inches, and as the name suggests, we have a really fun school theme with lots of great designs that work beautifully for students and teachers. You'll have 2 each of 12 different designs, plus 2 extra patterns that are on the inside of the front and back covers. I love how everything is coordinated really nicely and very easily. It's a nice fall color palette, lots of soft oranges and some greens and grays in here. Just a lot of fun to work with. Now, as I'm coming to the end here, you can see the inside back cover. Here's one of those bonus sheets that you can see there. Also included here is one sheet with 9 easy to cut out messages, and these work beautifully for your card focals or for the inside of your card as well. So this is our paper pack. And then to go along, of course, we've got our laser cut elements. And you can see on the front of the package some of the designs that are included here, but let's take a look. And these are all laser cut accents, so everything will punch right out from the backing sheet. They come out really easily. And you've got some elements, again, that work beautifully as your card focals. There are also some really gorgeous fall foliage elements in here, as well as some really nice borders to go along too. Now also on this package, on the inside of your cover sheet, you've got lots of cutout elements here too. So no space is going to waste. It's really nice to have some of those accent pieces to go along. Now, of course, everything is totally color coordinated. So your cards and your paper crafts are going to come together beautifully and very easily too. And it's all got that 49 and Market style that we love so much. I'm really glad that you're here today, and I'm excited to explore the creative possibilities of this collection with you. So come play with us. The first project I want to share with you is this simple card, which uses the collage pattern paper as an instant background to the embellishments and the focal. It's really easy to put together, so let's have a look at the process. I've started with a 5 by 6.5 inch blank white card, and I've covered the card front with the pattern paper. So I simply put my adhesive on the front of my card, place that paper down, and then trim around any excess using a pair of scissors. Now I've positioned the paper so that I've captured this beautiful arched doorway. I've got the satchels and the globe down at the bottom, and then I have this beautiful collage up here at the top. I've also got this really nice kind of open area here where I can add in some embellishments. Now, I have to say the hardest thing about making this card was deciding which of the collage pattern papers to use as my background. So in addition to this design, let me show you some of the others I could have chosen. I thought this one was really fun as well. And then you can see I just simply place this down, smooth it down, flip it over, and then trim around the outside edge to snip off any of that excess portion. Now this border here, once trimmed off, I think would be really nice for the inside of a card. So that was one option. Another option is a slightly different look with this beautiful building and this kind of watercolor style tree here. Again, you can see where I would just snip this off, and then I would have a really nice portion for the inside of the card. Also trimming off the top edge here, that will give me another border too. So you're really kind of spoiled for choice on these in deciding which of your collage designs you want to use as your background. So here you can see I just need to add a few other elements, and then I've got my card finished. So this is where I was combining the laser cut elements with some of the embellishments from the paper pack. So let's start with these borders. I've got a couple of zigzag laser cut borders, which I've just placed along the edge here. So I've got a thick and I've got a thin one, and I kind of nested these two up together. And then I've also got this trio of light bulbs that go up here. Now, one thing you'll notice with some of these laser cuts, they are very finely detailed, and you can notice here on these cords from the lights and this very thin zigzag element. How do you glue this down without the glue getting all over the place? Well, I really recommend the Cosmic Shimmer glue, and this is a white glue that dries clear, and I keep some of it in my Crafter's Companion bottle. Now, the bottle comes with a precision tip that really minimizes mess, and it comes with a little pin that you can use as a stopper as well. So that really keeps all of the mess to a minimum, and it keeps all of the elements glued on really nicely there. So that's what I've used here. Then I've added some additional dimension with a stack of books. This is another laser cut, and I've used some foam tape on here, just added that down at the bottom. And then I have an apple laser cut, which is also popped up on foam tape. So I'm really kind of creating a frame around here. Now for the focal element, I've used some of the cutout messages from the paper pack, 2 of them, overlapping one another. And I've added those with foam tape and just positioned those down like so, kind of overlapping those light bulbs a little bit too. And I've inked around the outside edges of these 2 cutouts using the Velvet Fawn ink pad. And that's again going to give a little bit of dimension. These are popped up on some foam tape too. And then you can see here that I've got a little bit of jute twine just up at the top to add some softness. I inked around the outside edge of my card using the grayish ink pad to give a little hint of a shadow around there. Then for my card inside, I have more pattern paper. I've got this really cool ledger design with the laser cut book border, and in the middle is a 3rd cutout from the paper pack inked with Velvet Fawn. Our next card has a real autumn feel to it, and I think this collection is perfect for so many occasions, including a seasonal hello card. Here I'm using the faux wood paper as my background. I've trimmed it slightly smaller than the card front, and then before I glued it down, I folded over the top corner so you can see the coordinating pattern on the reverse side. Then I cut just a small square of leaf paper and glued that to the card front just behind here to keep the shape of the rectangle. Now I wanted to show you an alternative to this design, and I'm going to move this card out of the way and bring in my blank white card. And what you could also do is line the inside with your patterned paper of choice, then glue this one on top around all 4 sides, and then fold over the 2 of these together. And this will give you an all-over design on the front. It'll give you a nice contrast with that white, and it gives you lots of space for adding in your card focal. So a couple of different options that you can do just depending on the look that you are going for. Now for my card focal, I'm using an autumn floral bouquet, and I've made this with the Botanical Library dies and laser cut leaves. So this is the die set that I'm working with. This is from Hot Off the Press. And I die cut the jar shape from this really nice soft pattern paper. And then I've inserted some of the leaf laser cuts from the collection into this slit that will be cut into the top of the jar. I wanted to add a little bit of contrast, and so I die cut some additional foliage from the die set, and I'm using this piece here as well as the smaller leaves. And I've cut that from the champagne glitter cardstock. I love this because it gives a little bit of shimmer and shine, some nice contrast, but it doesn't really detract from the overall design. It really keeps in with these colors in here too. Then I've got a little jute twine bow glued on, and this whole piece is positioned next to the Hello Dazzle greeting. These are from the Big Greetings Dazzle set. And I love these because you've got lots of nice big words. You've also got some smaller accents like the flowers and the little hearts. I've added one up here as well. And then for my card inside, I have more of the large words plus another laser cut leaf accent and another little heart dazzle on here too. Now, as soon as I saw the Academia collection, I knew it would be perfect for a tag in a bag project. And this is one of my go-to die sets for presenting a gift card or a money gift, especially for those young people in my life. And I think this would be a really fun way to treat someone as they're graduating or heading off to school, you know, whether as a student or a teacher. I have lots of both in my family. So the die that I'm using, and I've shown this to you so many times, you can see how weather-beaten my packaging is on here. This is just one of the best dies that I've got in my collection because it gives you a simple way to create something that's just a little bit different for a card or, as I mentioned, for holding a small gift. So all you'll do is die cut those shapes from your cardstock or pattern paper. Simply fold and glue them up together. This is the bag portion here. And then you've also got the shape for the tag as well. And that fits right inside just perfectly. So here I've die cut the bag portion from the collage pattern paper. And then I added a border laser cut along the front. And then this brick paper here is die cut with the 8 labels dies, and it makes a nice kind of focal area for this laser cut shelf. And I've got the owl, and then I've also got the sentiment down here. Those are all popped up with some foam tape, again, for a bit of dimension. Here's what the back of that will look like. And then for the tag, I've got this die cut from this wonderful double-sided paper with the numbers on it. Then I've got another one of the 8 labels dies here. I've added some overlapping laser cut elements, another one of the sentiments, and then I've also got a little bit of jute up here at the top. So this is a sweet and fun way, I think, to wish someone the best. Our final project is a really fun dimensional card that's made with a combination of the Tuxedo Box die and the 8 labels dies. And I'm using the 8 labels dies for this background portion right here. And I haven't shown you this die package. I'm a little embarrassed to say it's used so often that it's looking pretty ratty. But this is one of my go-to die designs, especially when I'm looking for some way to spotlight a focal element. And that's what I've used here for making this background piece on my card. Now the other die that I'm working with is the Tuxedo Box die, and that's got a couple of shapes that I'm going to show you a little bit more specifically, but I did want to point out the papers that I'm using here. So my back portion here is die cut from this faux texture black design. On the other side of this paper, you've got a really fun school pattern. So this is where those double-sided papers are really put to a good use. So I've used that for my background piece. Then for the front piece, which is a separate shape, I've used the circles, which on the other side is a really fun grid design. So super simple to put together, and I'll show you this die as well, kind of step you through this process. It's also very easy. So here you can see your 3 shapes. This is what I cut from black, this is the dot, and then this can be from any of your cardstock scraps that you might have on hand. Now the nice thing about this is not only are you getting the cut shape, you're also getting the score lines on here too when you run this through your die cutting machine. So all of your cutting and scoring is ready for you to go. Also on the back of the packaging, you'll always have your folding and assembly diagram, which is really nice and makes life just a little bit easier when you're putting this all together. But I can show you how it comes together too. So let's start with this background piece here. Now this is 2 pieces that I've already glued together. So this is that crossbow piece. On the packaging, it will tell you to measure from 2 3/4 inches from the bottom, and that's where you're going to glue your crossbow piece on here. Just the 2 ends so that this can kind of puff up a little bit. Then you've got your score lines here. Go ahead and score those up. And then, of course, you will have die cut your front piece. Now again, you've got your score lines on here, so you'll simply glue this down and then fold those kind of wings or the flaps open like so. And you've got your design ready to go. And you can add whatever focal element you want to there. One thing I will recommend for the edges there is to use that extra sticky tape, or sometimes it's called a red liner tape, the really heavy duty stuff, because that will ensure that your card stays together nicely even as the recipient is popping it open like so. So it keeps things, all of your elements, nice and secure. And then once you've got those pieces all glued together, you can go ahead and decorate from there. So I've got my laser cut book border down here. I've also got a little satchel popped up with some foam tape, and I've got this element here. So these are the laser cuts. I've got my cutout focal on top of that label, and of course that's my focal message for my card design. Again, some of the laser cut elements kind of coming around here to frame this as well. So I really like how this card design gives you so much dimension, but because all of those pieces come together so nicely, it really makes it easy. So this is our final card project of the day today. A big thank you to our friends at 49 and Market for this fun collection. It is always such a pleasure to work with their beautiful designs. And I think that we've just been spoilt for choice with all of the wonderful things that we can do with this collection today. And a special thanks to you for joining me today. We're really glad that you're here, and we're happy you're a part of our Paper Wishes family. Do feel free to leave a comment. We love to hear what you think. Each item can be purchased separately, and you can see them below. However, we've also bundled them into a creative money saver just for you. For the money saver, just see this webisode on paperwishes.com. And if you're watching us on YouTube, have a look in the description box below this video. You'll find a link that will take you to our Paper Wishes webisodes page, and you can see everything I've just mentioned. If you enjoyed our video today, we really appreciate a thumbs up. It does help people to find our channel. And don't forget to subscribe. We create 3 to 5 videos each week, so there's always something fun to inspire your creative spirit.